This is the notes for 1.1, Analyzing Comparison. Our vocab word for today is ratio. So it says a ratio is a comparison of two quantities. A ratio can be written in several different ways. So I could write the ratio of 3 cups of water to 2 cups of lemonade concentrate as 2 to 3, the word TO, 2 semicolon 3, or I can write it as a fraction. Okay, so I would either circle that or you can go ahead and write it out, but all 3 of those forms mean the exact same thing. So down here we're going to find 6 different ratios. I'm going to go ahead and use different colors so you can see where they're coming from, but feel free, you can just write it with your pencil. Okay, so our first one is the ratio of Glen's rock. So I'm going to go to Glen and then down to rock, and I'm going to see 9. And then we're going to find Nina's rock. So Nina and rock is 12. So the order matters. We're going to do Glen first, which is 9, to Nina second, which is 12. Keep in mind you could simplify that. So if I had a fraction, 9 over 12, I could divide those both by 3. And another way to write that ratio would be 9 divided by 3 is 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so we could write it 3 semicolon 4, 3 fraction 4, or 3 to 4. All of those mean the same thing. Glen first and then Nina. Our next one has Nina's classical. So I'm going to go to Nina's column again and classical, which is 9, to Glen's classical, so Glen and classical, which is 4. This one is slightly different though because we're going to approximate, so it says about to 1. So instead of writing that fraction 9 over 4, I'm just going to write here to the side. The order matters, so we're going to put Nina on top. Nina to Glen is 9 to 4. Okay, with my calculator, I'm going to go and change that to a decimal to approximate it to be about 1. So 9 divided by 4 in my calculator, 2 1/4 is 2.25. Since it says about, I can round this though, and we're going to estimate this to be about 2. If it was 2 point something bigger than 5, then I would round it up to 3. Okay, but this was really close to 2. To be exactly 2, I would have had 8 over 4. That would be exactly 2 over 1, and we were pretty close. So we're going to go and round that and leave that as about 2. Okay, so just be careful. If it says 2, 1, they've already done that second part of the ratio for me. I need to change my fraction there to a decimal. That'll help me estimate to about 1. Okay. Our next one takes a little more effort. We're going to find the fraction of classical to total CDs. So for both Glen and Nina. So for classical, we have 4 plus 9. So we're looking at 13 total classical CDs. Okay. For my total, then we need to add all of Glen, all of Nina. So Glen is 4 plus 9 plus 5. So we get 18. Nina is 9 plus 12 plus 7. So that one is 28. So to get the total number between Glen and Nina, we're going to add both of their totals and get 46. So of my whole table, we have accumulation of 46 CDs. So my fraction of classical, 4 plus 9 was 13, to the total was 46. And that one I cannot simplify. So 13 times 3 would be 49. So we're just a little short. So we're going to leave it as the fraction, classical 13 to total 46. Our next one is the fraction of Glen's CDs. So this time we're going of Glen's. So Glen's total was 18 that are rock. So Glen that was rock was 9 and his total number was 18. This one we can simplify though. So Glen 19 to his total 18. We can divide those both by 9. Or you could start by dividing them by 3, but then 3 over 6 we could divide by 3 again. We're going to simplify it and get 1/2. So half of Glen's collection is rock. He had 9 out of his total 18. So half of his collection is rock. The last two we're going to need to change to a decimal. So we're going to take a fraction and change it to a decimal in order to find my percent. So we're going to go Glen's CDs that are classical. So first we need to find Glen's CDs. So again, that was 18. And classical, he had 4. So Glenn had 4 classical. Of his total for Glenn was 18. So with our, we're going to do 4 divided by 18. 4 divided by 18. My calculator comes out as 0.222222222. Keeps going. I only need to write one of them. I'm going to put that repeating mark. Okay. However, when I change this to a percent, we need to move that decimal 2 places. Okay, so if I'm moving that decimal 2, I knew there was another 2 that filled in here. So my percent is actually 22%. And feel free, you can leave that repeating part on there if you want, but it would look like 22.2% repeating. Okay, so these 2's kept moving. So when percent per 100, 100 cents in a dollar, I go 2 to the right, I need to write down 2 of those. So we had 22%. If you leave the repeating part on there to the tens place, that's optional. All right, and our last one. Who has the greater percent of other CDs? So other CDs, Glenn has 5, Nina has 7. So right now, it would appear as if Nina had more. However, Nina also had more total CDs overall. Okay, so in order to compare these, we're going to need to change both of these fractions to a percent. So other for Glenn was 5 out of 18 total. Other for Nina was 7, but she had 28 total CDs. So with my calculator, I'm going to do 5 divided by 18. 5 divided by 18. I would get 28. Okay, that 0.28, I move it 2 places to the right to find my percent. Next, we're going to have 7 out of 28 total. Okay, so with your calculator, we're going to type in 7 divided by 28. My calculator tells me 0.25, and I'm moving a percent, so I'm going to go 2 to the right. So Nina's is 25%. Okay, so who was greater was actually Glenn. He had a smaller number of other CDs, but in comparison, he also had a smaller number overall. Okay, so of his 18, he had a greater percent that were other.